I got my wires crossed. Daniel's only going to be with us 5 minutes in the next hour, but I'm going to have him up for a full hour next week ahead of his trip to the United States, and we'll talk about all those events and dates then. I hope you'll go to Infowars.com, the new redesigned, upgraded Infowars.com, and via the safe, secure online video and bookstore shopping cart, get the true story of the Bilderberg Group. Since 1954, the world's most powerful people have met in secret once a year until now. And it is the definitive work. It is hundreds of photos, hundreds of documents. I mean, every page is illustrated, every page. This is such a well-done book, and it's such powerful information. I hope you'll get it at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. And I agree, if somebody laughs at you, move on, but we should still try to wake up others, especially prominent people. And Daniel, I mean, would you encourage people to give your book to skeptics? Because I don't know, I mean, this is so important, but I also agree with you that we're in such crisis. I don't get how people laugh and smile about this when even mainstream media admits we're going into a global crisis.
Well, Alex, again, if with 4 basic pieces of proof, irrefutable evidence, people still don't believe, it doesn't matter if you give them 400,000 or 400 million. Again, the drug crisis, people believe it's a drug traffickers in South America who control the drug trade. They don't understand that it's the biggest corporations in the world who are the ones who are profiting from the international drug trade, and all that money is being washed and laundered through Wall Street. Again, if people don't understand, the question is, do we waste our time trying to convince them, which takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, or do we go after the people, who are half believers and we get them on board? I don't really know. I think there's simply not enough time. As Peter Dale Scott said, as you said, and I said, so many other people out there, knowledgeable people who understand, we're at the end of a financial system. We're experiencing a systemic collapse of the financial markets and of civilization as we know it. If people don't understand it, they prefer to watch football games and hockey games and all that other jazz, that's fine. Don't have the time for them. It's a Titanic. We talk to the people who understand and would get them on board. We don't need that many people. If we can get 10, 20, 30 million people to understand, that's a big enough force to win this war.
Absolutely. Daniel, in the time we've got left in this segment and the next, any new intel on their agenda, any splits, what happened at Davos behind the scenes?
Well, I can tell you one thing, that going back to the American elections, which I think interests a lot the people in the United States. I've been saying it for months that my candidate is Michael Bloomberg. It's not McCain, who probably is not going to live long enough to enjoy it because he's a very, very sick man. And needless to say, Barack Obama has been compromised, and Hillary Clinton is hated in London and in most circles in the United States as well. I think it's Bloomberg, but there's something else which came out recently that I saw a few days ago. They're talking about a potential Bloomberg-Obama ticket, and now it has been actually floated by this woman by the name of Armstrong Williams on the site called Newsmax.com. I think about 3 or 4 days ago. They're talking about Obama the Independent. Now, can you
By the way,
that?
Armstrong Williams has been on the White House payroll with fake news.
Exactly, but this is one of the things which is.
Well, listen. I agree with you because now Bloomberg's coming out supporting Obama and talking about Hillary trying to cheat him in New York with votes. Go ahead.
Exactly. Well, Bloomberg, apparently is prepared to give $1 billion to Obama's campaign, after which Obama would bolt from the Democratic Party and run as an independent. Again, a lot of people don't quite understand that it doesn't matter if the election, process started months ago. As an independent, you can run whatever you want, and Bloomberg has $11 billion of his own cash to spend on the campaign. Again, it's about money, Alex, and you have to understand, this is what my friend in the World Bank told me. He said, if you want to understand how this is done and what the elites are doing to us, understand how money works and what money can do for us if you know how to use it.
Now, Daniel, are you saying you're getting this from sources inside the power structure?
I'm getting it from the people who were at Davos and who heard others talking in small talk, idle chatter during lunches and dinners. But people again who are involved in the American government. So
stay there. We got a break. 1 minute. We'll be right back.
Media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Big news coming up in the next segment after Daniel leaves us. I'm also going to be opening the phones up at 1-800-259-9231. The true story of the Bilderberg Group, Daniel Estulin. Daniel, continuing. So, elitist, the info you got at Davos, the buzz is Bloomberg and Obama. And you're saying that's being jockeyed around, or you think from the info you got that that's definitely in the cards?
Well, somebody's talking about this, Alex, which is how I get the information. Which is somebody's talking about this, somebody's in the know. I've been talking about Bloomberg candidacy since October, since I was in the States the first time to promote my book. And again, it makes all the sense in the world. It's about money, and the situation is such a disastrous situation right now that the bankers themselves, they need to put their guy in the White House to be able to control the situation. And the Obamas and the McCains and the Clintons, they just don't have the financial savvy and smarts to know what to do. And someone such as Michael Bloomberg, who himself is a money man, is, again, the banker's choice for the White House. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I thought it would be Bloomberg all the way. Now they're talking about a Bloomberg candidacy in the United States mainstream press. So, again, I think it's a possibility. I think it's a little bit too early to tell, but I think it's in the cards.
Anything else? Iran still off the table. What about staged terror? In the 3 minutes we've got, you've got the floor. Any other key info you've got?
Well, I think, again, this is a message to all the people out there listening to the show and the new audience which you have in the last few weeks and last few months. We are talking not about the Bilderberg Group, but we're talking about a very powerful group of people, the oligarchy, which is essentially a private criminal enterprise stretching across the globe and operating through a network of government agencies, private institutions, and both publicly owned and private corporations. And again, it's important to understand that we're talking about a self-perpetuating system, a virtual spider web of interlocked financial, political, economic, and industry systems, again, with a very set model at the center, which is the Bilderberg Group, which is, again, one of the reasons why all of these individuals keep coming back again and again and again, because these are the same people, the Kissingers, the Sutherlands, the Etienne Davignons, the Rockefellers, the Brzezinskis. They are in all of these things, and again, that's how this oligarchy actually works.
The Kissingers, the Rockefellers haven't relinquished their power yet. They're losing a lot of their luster and sparkle. They want to see their new world order be born. Does that mean that they're trying to accelerate things, or is there a power transfer starting to happen?
Well, let me tell you, very frank with you. These people are going to be long dead and buried before their plans for the New World Order come to pass, thanks to the work you do, the work I do, and the work that people are finally beginning to wake up. Not enough people, but enough people to slow them down considerably. Again, the information that we're able to get out to the people is enough to derail some of their plans, and that's exactly what we need. I don't think they're losing a luster. I think, again, they still are in control. I think it's a very organized financial meltdown, but again, as in any crisis, you need to control the situation, and they don't control all the elements, which is, again, one of the advantages that we have. They don't control the entire system, only most of it.
And people are starting to wake up to the world government, aren't they? Does that concern the elite?
Well, it's a very relative thing. Again, my book has sold over 1.5 million copies in the world, but how many millions watched the final of the NFL, the Super Bowl? Was it 30, 40, 50 million people? It's a very relative thing. Again, 2 million people is a lot of people, but 50 million people sitting in front of the boob tube watching a football game, eating popcorn is a lot more people.
Absolutely. Well, I know this. We don't have a choice. All we can do is fight back. We can't just lay here in the gutter and give up. He's coming to the U.S. next month. He'll be back on with us next Friday for a full hour to tell you about some of the places he's going to be and a lot of other developments and information we haven't had time to cover. Maybe we'll go back into history, too, with Lord Milner and extrapolate out how they really codified this modern plan that we're living under. We're talking about...
I'll get you some... next week, I promise to get the information from the Davos Forum for you, Alex.
Fantastic. He's the author of...
exclusively on your show.
Fantastic. Daniel, be safe. We'll talk to you next week.
Great. God bless you. Take
care.